The species-appropriate diet. Nature knows best. In order to thrive and be in optimal health, all animals need to eat a diet appropriate to their species. Common sense tells us that although a child could survive on McDonald's, over time he or she would develop various health issues and would certainly not be in optimal health. In other words, it's not species appropriate to feed your child a core diet of junk food, and the same is true for our dogs. But before we delve into why it is that the majority of commercial dog food is in fact the equivalent of junk food for dogs, let's take a look at what the canine appropriate diet consists of. It's a primal thing. The majority of scientists believe that dogs and wolves are the same species, and that wolves were first domesticated by early man, somewhere between 8,000 and 20,000 years ago, giving rise to the domestic dog. Although man has bred many types of dog with various outward characteristics and temperaments, dogs and wolves still remain the same internally and share the same anatomy and physiology. In fact, dogs and wolves are so closely related that they can even interbreed. In the wild, wolves and feral dogs are primarily carnivores and survive mostly on a diet of raw meat and animal carcasses, including the partially digested contents of their stomachs, whilst also scavenging for fruits and vegetables. Who could argue? Unlike humans, dogs and wolves have not evolved to eat a carbohydrate-rich diet, and this is reflected in their physiology and anatomy. Dogs don't have the ability to grind their food and lack the enzymes present in human saliva that begins the digestive process of grains. If you've ever examined your dog's teeth, you will notice that he has 5 different types, all of which serve a different function for hunting and eating a diet rich in animal protein, fats and bones. Fangs, for latching onto prey and tearing flesh. Front teeth, clean meat from bones. Molars, to break down bones. Large incisors, slice meat and other connective tissue. Small incisors, grip and hold. Like most carnivores, dogs have short gastrointestinal tracts and don't need to eat as often as many other types of species. We humans, for example, tend to eat smaller, more regular meals. Healthy wild dogs and wolves can go several days without food with no ill effect and are capable of consuming large quantities of food in a single sitting. In fact, there have been documented cases of wolves eating as much as 20% of their total body weight in a single meal. This is the equivalent of a 70-kilogram man eating 14 kilos of food in one serving. The evidence continues. In order to digest raw meat and bones, a dog's stomach functions at an extremely corrosive pH, 1 to 2, which also destroys most, if not all, pathogens. So efficient is the dog's digestive system at consuming meat and bones, he's unlikely to excrete any more than 4% of the total fat intake and almost none of the protein. This is in contrast to commercial dog food, which is typically full of grains and fillers and tends to go in one end and out the other. Furthermore, not only do grains raise a dog's stomach pH, hindering its digestive efficiency, but they also cause spikes in blood sugar levels that contributes to inflammatory diseases like diabetes, heart disease, and obesity. When you factor the dog's cardiovascular system, which is designed to hunt live prey, into all of the above, it's difficult to contest the fact that dogs have evolved to eat a diet rich in animal protein and fat. So why is it that the majority of mass-market dog food is high in carbohydrates and low in animal protein?